Hello everyone, my name is Catalyst, welcome back to the channel, I hope you all are doing well. Before you click off the video, I know you've read the title of the video, and I just want to tell you, it isn't all bad. Okay, if you're coming to this video expecting a rant about how bad the game is and yada yada yada, that's not where this is going. I'm not going to dump on the season because in fact there are a couple of good things that have come with this update. But with that said, and we'll talk about this later after we go over some of the finer details of the update, I think this season is the perfect illustration of some of the problems that come with how DICE has been delivering content to us in Battlefield 2042. With that said, the one thing that we won't be going over in depth today is the new specialist, as I don't have extensive time with her yet. In fact, I'll be live streaming about an hour after this video goes live. I have moved my stream back from Twitch and will be doing consistent streams on YouTube again. Those will be Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. GMT. But we'll be playing and learning the new specialist all day today on stream, so I'll have more of an idea on how to play her for the guide video that'll be coming out on Saturday, so be on the lookout for that. Early first impressions of her though, I think she has a serious case for being the best recon specialist in the game. Sorry Rao, your throne was very short-lived. So, Season 4, let's start with all the good. I think that this update has done quite a lot in terms of adding good quality of life features that the game has sorely been lacking. Finally, after about a year and a half, DICE have added minimap scaling, which was a very popular feature in previous Battlefield games that allowed you to tweak your UI a bit. DICE also made changes to spotting, in which now the spots on the minimap now tell you whether they are above you or below you. You can see the little arrow on the map there. I'll zoom in for you. That is a pretty significant change, especially with how prevalent spotting is in this game. DICE have also made some really good changes to address the downtime in between rounds. Not only has DICE removed the super hind cutscene that you get when you first queue into a match, but they have also removed the fly-in sequence at the start of games where you flew into battle inside the Condor and everybody was hunchbacked and barely rendered in. I am a happy man knowing I likely never have to see that again. But more importantly, they have replaced those cutscenes with a loading screen that now allows you to customize your class while the lobby fills, which I think is a really nice change. It gives you some extra time to change your class around, and that helps with situations where you're customizing a class and then the game starts and you're yanked out of that screen so you could watch the Condor Brigade fly in. So that doesn't happen anymore. That's a great quality of life change, and those are the most impactful and noticeable changes that you'll see when you first boot up the game. Oh, apart from your key bindings and controller mappings being reset. Yeah, here's your warning now. If you haven't tried the new season yet, there is about a 90% chance that DICE resets your key bindings or your controller mappings, and you're gonna have to go and set them up again, which is, yeah. I'm relatively pleased with the amount of weapons that we're getting with this update, and they all seem to be viable. Apart from the Type 88, that thing is a piece of trash. I was playing with the AC-9 a bunch on stream yesterday, and I was enjoying it. I was enjoying the new Cobra sight as well. I really found that to be a nice addition. The new LMG and new assault rifle both seem pretty strong as well, and the SVD is very similar to the M39. But you'll never hear me complain about new weapons, even if I think they're bad, because at the end of the day, it is more content. I do believe this is the most weapons we've gotten in a season so far, though. Feel free to correct me on that if I'm wrong. But this is what I would consider to be an acceptable amount of weapons. I think 5 to 7, anywhere in that range, is a good total for a new season. And that's about where my praise ends, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the new map, Flashpoint. I am so incredibly disappointed with this map, and that stinks because I think the new map is the most important part of the new season package. Prior to the update, I thought that this map had the potential to be the best map in the game, if done correctly. It would be a cool little mashup of Operation Firestorm from Battlefield 3 and Achibaba from Battlefield 1, and even though I think that that assessment is still pretty accurate, Flashpoint is once again another Battlefield 2042 map that suffers from oppressive verticality. This map is a fishbowl blender, and it's very disappointing because this map genuinely has some of the more well thought out and well designed capture locations in the entire game. This map was designed by Ripple Effect, who are responsible for Portal, and you can definitely see some of the difference in design decisions between the standard DICE Stockholm developers and then the Ripple Effect developers, you can see the differences. The problem is that every single point is surrounded by tall, vertical, hard to traverse, rocky terrain that is a breeding ground for camping vehicles, snipers, and prone LMG rats. So what ends up happening is that as fun as the objectives themselves might be, you are a fish in a barrel for whoever and whatever is looking down upon you from those hills if you decide to actually be on the objective, and it absolutely butchers the flow of this map. Not only is it hard to rotate off of flags to other objectives, but the experience on these well-designed points is now just a confusing, chaotic, and irritating mess. I kid you not, if DICE just went into the map editors and artificially lowered all the hills by a good 50 meters, this map would play so much better. And that's just on Conquest. With Flashpoint, there is a rare circumstance in which I actually think the Conquest layout is better than the Breakthrough layout. Attacking is about as easy as it is on any other map in the game. Defense, generally speaking, is not a fun time, but even for the attacking team on Flashpoint, it is frustrating to push objectives for the same reasons I stated above. You just get shelled on by tanks and 30mm guns from the hills overlooking the objective, and since there are no air vehicles in Breakthrough besides transport vehicles, there is no stealth heli or attack helicopter or Little Bird to go and chase them off, and it's very difficult to flank around them and take them out. Again, it's just another situation in which map size and map verticality completely butcher what could have been a great map. Someone told me on Twitter that the 64-player version of this map is better, but there are some objectives that you have to run 600 meters to get to, and that is insane. The sticky grenade launcher is annoying. Moving on from the map, it's very predictably not being used to open pathways in buildings, but instead being used to kill infantry from afar, which anybody could have predicted. I mean, these explosive damage at range gadgets are never used as the developers intend them to be, and they just add to the already annoying explosive chip damage that's in the game already. But with that said, I think the idea of the gadget is cool, and maybe if they changed how the gadget works a little bit to make it not so enticing for people to just camp and try and stick you with the grenades, I might like it a little bit better. And the new Cav Brawler vehicle only compounds the already very volatile infantry versus vehicle balance that we've talked about in videos on this channel prior. Here's the thing, and this is what I really wanted to talk about in today's video. This is the point that I want everybody to take home if you take one thing away from this video. Not every map is going to be a success. Not every gadget is going to be fun. Not every gun is going to be a viable option in the meta. Not every specialist is going to be fun to play. But when the overall offered content is lacking and insignificant, and these things do happen, the overall package takes a gigantic hit to its enjoyability. DICE is not going to hit a home run every time. It would be foolish to expect perfection, especially from a developer that is quite frankly known more for its imperfection as of the last few years. But just in the case of Flashpoint, for example, and I think it's the perfect example for this, I think the map is hot trash, but maybe it's just not for me. Unfortunately, this is the only new map that I get to play for the next 14 weeks, until Season 5 comes out. If DICE were not adding vault weapons from Portal to supplement the very few weapons that we've been getting in previous seasons, I would feel the same way about the weapons. Now, part of the problem is that DICE is playing catch-up with their content because the game launched with so little content that if you have any significant time in the game, you are likely already bored of, I would say, 80% of what is offered at the moment. But the other part really comes down to the fact that not only is there not enough content in these seasons, especially with maps and specialists, but there are not many well thought out additions to the game. Most of the additions to the game, besides the map, the gun, and the specialist, I find annoying as shit, to be honest with you, and I don't know about you, but I don't really care about the battle pass either. All I see that is useless fluff. Cosmetics, weapon charms, calling cards, that doesn't really interest me. Weapons, characters, maps. That's what interests me, and I think you would be comfortable in saying that that's what interests most of the players in the community. And even though I think we're at a good place now with weapons and how many weapons we're getting per season, we still need more maps, and frankly, we could have done with some more specialists as well. But more importantly, we need additions to the game that actually contribute something or add a new dynamic, not just something that adds to explosive spam, like Zane's Airburst or the sticky grenade launcher, for example. And you know what sucks is that all the effort that DICE are putting into reworking the old maps, for example, could be put into making new maps for these seasons. It just feels like as much as DICE are rushing to fill these seasons with content, it's either not enough content or not well thought out content, and in this season, I think it backfires on them. Okay, that's my rant done. I had to get that out of my system. All in all, look, Season 4 to me is underwhelming, but what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, and if you enjoyed it just that much, consider subscribing. Make sure to join the Discord if you're interested. Follow me on Twitter and come by the live stream later today. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. My name is Catalyst, and I will see you all another time.